gonna win. Long as you're happy, you're always gonna grin. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. Never gonna lose, never gonna win. Long as you're happy, you're always gonna grin. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. Here we are. It's Wednesday. It's 12:30, and we've got 15 minutes for accountants and bookkeepers, but it's going to last for 30 minutes. We've got Tom with us today. How are you, Tom?
Yeah, really good. Thank you. Really good. How are you?
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Buzzing because I've got this little bit of news to share in a minute. But before we do all of that, we want to know a little bit about you, what all this bots and AI and all that stuff is. So give us a little introduction, who you are, what you do, please, Tom.
Yeah, cool. Yes, I'm Tom Johnson, hence the name. Kind of like the partnerships lead here at Bots for That, which is a relatively new company in the accountancy space. Prior to working at Bots for That, I had actually just been traveling around the world for the last year or so. Before that, I've been working with accountants. So yeah, I kind of came back, was looking for a role in an industry that I've worked in and understand kind of a lot of the concerns that people have. And Dan Cockton put me on to Bots for That, and kind of when I heard about what they're doing, the things they're doing, it was, I guess, a match made in heaven.
Perfect. So you were with Iwaka before, and then you took a year out. So you had a gap year.
Yeah, I had my gap year at 30. Which,
awesome.
Yeah,
and so where did you go? What was the highlight of the trip?
Probably the highlight was Tokyo. Japan was just unbelievable. But we did kind of that whole Southeast Asia, so Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, Cambodia, New Zealand, Australia, Tokyo. It's probably somewhere else in there that I'm forgetting. But yeah, for about just under about a year. Constant.
Wow, that's incredible. Well, you're back now, and
yes.
Bots for That. What does the company do? What do we do? How do we help accountants?
Yeah, so Bots for That's it's really interesting. So Bots for That as a company has been running for actually about 7 years, but the accountancy space has only been running since kind of November, December. We went into the accountancy space. Really simply, what we do is we build and implement bots for accountants. So by nature, accountants can be quite robotic in their processes. So they're almost like the perfect marketplace for bots. So things like bank reconciliation, pulling multiple reports and stuff. These are kind of stuff where you find yourself clicking a lot. That's pretty much where what we do, which is implement bots, come in and take over those processes. So all the mundane stuff that accountants have to do but don't really want to do, we can do.
So I'm just thinking accountants and bookkeepers like spreadsheets. If we're going into a spreadsheet and doing lots of stuff, we can, I had the word a minute ago, you can create a macro, can't you? Within a spreadsheet. So basically your bot is a macro for bigger and better things. Is that right?
Yeah, so the bots can basically, anything a human would do, a bot can do but at scale. So take like your zero bank rec, for example, that's like our primary proposition. Right now, an accountant will go in to do their client bank rec or a bookkeeper, and they'll have to click that OK button. And that OK button only really exists because it's a nice user face, like a nice experience. That's the only reason why the OK button actually exists. Like in Scandinavia, for example, they don't actually have any reconciliation like that. They just have the files and they put them in. But right now, people are having to click OK. What our bots will do is they'll go in, they'll click all of the OK buttons and reconcile a bank. So that hour, 30 minutes, 20 minutes that you spend per client clicking OK, you no longer have to do. And the beauty of that is the bots run 24/7. So you essentially have a 24/7 tool.
And so do you build a bot and then I just buy bots off the shelf, or do you work with me and help me build something that I specifically need, like custom build something?
Yeah, it's a great question. We kind of, at the moment, we kind of do both. So any bot that we build or any process that we build, and this was great. So the bots that we build are based on what's called RPA, robotic process automation, and then we also have other AI elements like natural language processing. So what that means is any bot that we build customly for one person or a specific element, we can actually then push out to everybody. So if you were to come and say, look, I want to trial bots for that, most people start at the zero bank credit bot, and that's a bot that you can just kind of get off the shelf. But rather than buying bots, what we've decided to do is accountants pay for runtime, like you would pay a staff member an hourly rate. And rather than saying, "Oh, I want the bank credit bot," or whatever, you have access to all the bots. So when we release a bot, you'll get access to it. We recently did one of the top 100 firms we work with had a massive payroll issue. And part of that process is a journaling into Xero. So with that, what we did is we basically took the journaling element. So we built a custom bot to help the accountant. So there's a custom side, but then we managed to strap out the journaling side. So anytime you need to journal into an accounting software, we now have a bot that we can just release.
Right. Okay. I'm trying to get my head around this because this is taking AI to another level, isn't it?
Yeah, it's interesting. So the technology, to an extent, has been around a long time. The mindset hasn't necessarily been around for a long time, and that's the bit that we're really at now. And yeah, with taking the AI to the next level, what's really cool is when we talk about NLP, natural language processing. So it's a form of machine learning, and what it will do is it will go in. Say you're doing bank record, you're doing reports, or you've got an age debtor report. The bot will go in and it will see patterns that we physically will not see as humans. We just will not see them. And it will begin to understand these patterns. So when it comes to bank rec, it will do a more informed bank rec. When it does a report, it will actually highlight patterns like this is actually statistically, this is your worst payer. So it takes this client 4 reminders until they pay. It takes this client 2 reminders. And it does it instantly.
No, brilliant. And so you're not having to worry about going elsewhere to check everything. It's just running in the background, doing what you need it to do.
Yeah, exactly right. We have one platform. We pull like service reports because I always think that's the thing, right? Is having an overview, because you can't. I think in a day-to-day life we have now, you can't, if you've got a staff member, go, "What did you do? How many bank recs did you do? What did you do? Like how long did that take?" But you kind of want to know that information. So yeah, we kind of serve up all these dashboards.
And so how does it actually look then? So what's the interface look like? How easy is it for me to implement into my large bookkeeping practice, for example?
Yeah, it's a good question, because really you don't necessarily need to see anything, because the bot will go into the programs you're using and it will just run. What you're going to see is actually the output. So you'll see that your stuff is done. We do have an app, so people will be able to log in with an app and they'll be able to see the clients they've connected, the bots that they can deploy. So they might want to say, we deploy these bots, but we don't want to deploy these bots. That's kind of the initial bit, but the actual real work, you're not going to see. You just see the output.
Yeah, no, like I said, I'm trying to get my head around this. So the other thing is that accountants and bookkeepers are renowned for having lots of different software. So they might have Dex, they might have QuickBooks, they might have Xero, they might have practice management software, different tax and accounting software and stuff like that. Can your bots marry them all together and make things easier there?
Yeah. So question for you is, if I gave you logins for QuickBooks, Dex, Xero, Practice Manager, and like say Fathom, would you be able to click through each one of those?
How do you mean?
As in, if I said, go into QuickBooks, go into Fathom, go into...
Yeah, they're not related. They're not related, so I'm not going to be able to.
Yeah, exactly. So what you'd have to do is you essentially have to go into each one and log in at once. What the bot do is it can log into all the platforms at once.
Okay.
And centrally pull that. So we'll kind of connect your apps that might not necessarily normally connect.
Yeah, no, because that's the nirvana, isn't it? It's trying to get all of your apps talking to each other.
Yeah, and say you do reach that nirvana and you have them talking to each other. It's then being able to pull out the reports and understanding what's happening there, how long are these processes taking, what's been done. That's then the bit that we can surface up.
Yeah, and making it easy to understand and read and get the it's all right having all this data, but if you do nothing with it, there is no point. So what challenges are you seeing bookkeepers and accountants having at the moment then, Tom?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it's necessarily always just been right now. It's been a challenge that I've always seen. I always refer to it as the three-pronged capacity issue: the work and staff recruitment. So at the moment, we've had this massive boom of cloud technology. The problem is there is so many great tools that accountants are just like, okay, well, I need to implement this piece of technology, but I can't implement it until I've implemented this technology. But I need to get the work up to date and the data up to date before I can implement the tech. And the reason why they're doing the work is because they can't either retain the good quality staff or simply find the staff to do the work. So it's just a constant loop of essentially like mental bandwidth and capacity. And that's the biggest challenge. And that's where we can kind of come in. We can kind of say, look, rather than trying to find a new staff member, or rather than losing a staff member because you're using outdated methods, why not give your current team a little bit of a boost so their capacity grows, so you have more time to then go and do that larger tech implementation or other work.
A bit like giving a guy digging trenches on a building site a JCB.
Yeah, exactly right. A bookkeeper coupled with a bot, you've just gone from 20, 25 clients to 100, 200.
Yeah, perfect. And so what are the big stories that you're actually that you've seen benefit from people using your bots?
Yeah, so we had an accountant join us when we were first launching out to the accountancy space, and she was a real big advocate and tester. And basically, she helped test it, said it's a great product. So from there, we kind of pushed out 100% adoption. And that meant that she emailed out her staff, her clients to say, look, we're implementing this bot here. What it did is it pretty much overnight removed her bookkeeper bottleneck. So she had one bookkeeper, and all of that bookkeeper work is obviously going through one person. So if the bookkeeper gets ill, the bookkeeper has too much workload or month end or any of that sort of stuff, you've got this bottleneck of work, which then just creates stress and people work longer hours. So she coupled her bookkeeper with a bot. So now the bookkeeper is looking at what the bot's doing, which is all the mundane work, so like the bank rec, pulling of the reconciliation reports, chasing, etc. And then the bookkeeper almost has like their own staff member. So as a result of that, we're now in this phase where we're looking at kind of the data quality. So the accountant's going out to the clients and going, hey, look, like we need to implement bank rules. We need to make sure you're getting all your receipts and everything through decks. And what that gives to the client is they're like, oh, my accountant Cara, she's like absolutely proactive. She's amazing. And as a result of that, you can imagine her clients are talking about her all the time, and she's just growing more and more and more because there's this really proactive service that her clients are seeing.
Yeah, and she's not stuck in the weeds. She's got time to add value to what she's doing for her clients.
Exactly right.
Yeah, and the bookkeeper's doing more meaningful work rather than all that drudgery that we all hate it.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing, and that's something that does annoy me sometimes. Is a lot of people say, AI and bots and stuff will replace a bookkeeper or replace an accountant, when really actually it's got to be about increasing the capacity and coupling a bookkeeper with a bot, because then you'll really see it. If you put in a bot and replace a bookkeeper or an accountant with a bot, yeah, you'll see a little bit of growth, but it will not be nothing compared to bot and human. Yeah,
no, and we've had this debate forever, Tom, because we had the Industrial Revolution, and so years and years ago, a farmer would have a load of farm cottages and had a load of farm workers, and they'd all go out and they'd hand cut the grass and turn it into hay and silage and all that sort of malarkey. And then they brought in tractors and trailers and cutting machines. But we need people to make those machines. We need people to service those machines. And it's exactly the same with all of the, when we had the computer age coming in, and now we've got the AI age coming in. I really can't see us losing jobs. We're just going to do better work, and it's going to be more fun, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly right.
Here's a question for you then. Have you seen any of your clients, customers, get rid of staff now they've got all of your bots?
No.
No. I knew that was going to be a no, which is why I asked it, because I've not yet met a bookkeeper or an accountant in a busy practice who aren't strapped for time.
Mhm.
So here's one that is probably a no. Can you get a bot that will get the clients to bring their records in before the 31st of January?
Physically, probably not, but we have bots that send emails, send chases, send reminders. They'll go into Dex and they'll look at outstanding data. They'll pull reports from like Xero, QuickBooks, and say all of this data is outstanding. You can compose that into one simple email that can be pinged out. So that probably the extent.
Yeah, but that would make life so much easier for I don't know if you've been watching on LinkedIn, but during January there was a lot of people being smug because they'd done it all, and there was a lot of people firing back saying we're really busy and it's not our fault and all those sorts of things. But so that, I think that's your first target, isn't it? Is helping there.
That's the thing, right? For me, the backrec bot, because pretty much everything originates from the backrec. If you're going to pull a report, it's usually off the data in the backrec. And if you can get that done, to do that, you need to set up back rules. You need to have the data flowing in. So if you make a conscious effort in the implementation that you're going to change the way you work, so a client comes on board, you set as many bank rules as you can. You work with them and say, hey, look, we need this data pushed in every week. And you start working with the clients because you've got the capacity to. All of a sudden, you get to January and it's no longer a case of chasing clients for data, because you already had that conversation 6 months ago as part of your implementation.
No, fantastic. And are you geared towards the large practices? You said you were working with a top 100 firm, or are you geared towards, your 1 and 2 man bands? Where are we?
Yeah, so the client you asked about earlier, that's essentially a sole practitioner.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a tough one because large firms do see a massive benefit, as you can imagine, with like thousands of clients, but also small, medium entities. There's not really, we're still trying to find that exact range. It really depends on your client transaction volume. If you've got, say, like 100 clients and they've got 2-3 bank accounts each, we're probably going to help you.
No, perfect. But all these bots and that must take ages to write the program, build it all and stuff like that. Have you got any examples of how agile you guys really are?
Yeah, so I tell everybody this story. There's a developer that recently started with us, and basically he started on a couple of weeks back. He started on the Wednesday, got his laptop on a Thursday, and by Friday had built a cash coding module that come Monday we actually implemented across the company. So yeah, wow. we work at a crazy pace at the moment. We're currently building a reporting bot that will basically pull all the different reports, whether it be a custom report or a P&L or an age debtor report, at whatever frequency you want, kind of whenever you want, across all of your client base, certain amount of client base. The initial work started today. We'll probably be looking to push that out next week for initial outward testing.
No, that's incredible. Do you have a sort of like a Facebook group or some sort of community around this where people are sharing their ideas and stuff?
Yes, we've got a bots for that community, which hopefully if Aaron is kicking about, he should be able to put that into the comments. If not, obviously I can do it retrospectively. We have that community, but that can just be found on our website. If you go to botsforthat.com, you'll see we have an accountants tab that you can go in and join our community right from there.
Right, and is that free to join?
Yeah, absolutely free.
Yeah, because then we can start seeing what we're actually what benefits other people are getting, because it's cutting edge. We're a little bit wary and we're not quite sure. So what would you say to somebody who's sort of like, oh no, I want to sit on the fence a little bit longer? What's your answer to that, Tom?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. We look at like Will Farnell, Stuart Hurst of the world and stuff, and Cheryl Price, Jerry Williams, etc. We look at them and they're, I guess, thought leaders to an extent.
Yeah.
But what they are is they're early adopters, right? And everyone is learning from them. When really what they did is they took the gamble and paved the way of, this isn't how it should be done. This is how I want it to be done. And now they're teaching everybody else. And that's the biggest thing. It's you got to take the step to move forward.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Aaron summed it up. Loving the chat. Great to hear more about bots and AI. I'm really sorry. We're gonna have to cut you short today because I've got a really exciting announcement to make now. But before we go, let people know how we can get hold of you and come and see these amazing bots in action.
Yeah, cool. So the best thing to do would be, we've actually got a LinkedIn live webinar that we'll be hosting. So if you follow myself on LinkedIn or anyone from Bots for That, you'll see that. We're going to be at the Digital Accounting Show. So we are platinum partners, platinum level players. So you can come to our stand, have a demo, set up a trial, get a look and feel of the app that we're building. Alternatively, you can just email me, thomas.johnson@botsforthat.com, and say, hey, I want to talk bots.
I heard you on that show. Fantastic. Tom, thanks so much for coming on. But if you're listening to this on the podcast, all the show notes are going to be, all the contact details for Tom are going to be in the show notes. So, Tom, thank you very much indeed. And look forward to catching up with you again soon.
Yeah, thanks, Ashley.
Cheers now. Bye-bye. Oh, my goodness. My hands are all sweaty because I've got this big announcement, but I can't do it on my own. I need somebody to come in and give me a hand. I wonder who I've got here. In a forest, Caroline Hobden. How the devil are you?
I am doing incredibly well in my forest. I didn't really know I was here until I arrived, but there we go. Lovely to see you, Ashley.
Absolutely. The feeling is so mutual. It's so mutual. I'm actually a little bit nervous.
Oh,
Isn't that funny?
It's
Isn't that funny?
exciting.
I think it's exciting. Seeing your smiley face makes it exciting as well. A lot of people have been sort of like saying, oh, what is it? Go and tell us, give us a clue. We can reveal now, can't we?
Let's do it.
Are you gonna announce it?
I can do that. Well, we are very proud to announce that we are going to be working even closer with Ashley than we have done in the past, because we are going to be doing an Accountex takeover of this incredible weekly show. I feel like we should have confetti cannons going off at this point.
How about that? I wonder if that works. Sometimes on
the Macs it works, doesn't it?
Sometimes it works. So all right. We've got this though. We've got this that we've knocked up between us. Where is it? So I came up with this amazing background, and Rachel turned around. Not Rachel. Becky turned around and goes, "No, we just want it just a takeover." So we're going with the pink. I'm loving the pink.
It's our signature color. Yeah.
It's not too clashing with the yellow. And did you notice me live gets a makeover as well?
I did. It looks very good. I'm loving it. But no, seriously, we are really looking forward to working on this. You are the most passionate person about accountancy. You have always been an advocate for Accountex, which we're very grateful for. And we're just looking forward to working with you in the next 12 weeks running up to the show to bring all our major announcements about all the exciting things that we've got planned.
It's gonna be so exciting. That none of this is rehearsed. We're just doing this off the cuff. So thank you so much. That means an awful lot to me. The fact that you're getting me to do it means an awful lot. But I was thinking earlier about what I was going to say today. I can remember going to Accountex, and it must have been I left Digital 8 or 9 years ago, so it's got to be 14, 15 years ago. That we did our first Accountex, and we all wore suits and matching ties because that's how it was. Now we're all turning up in yellow t-shirts, and
I know. I mean, I joined the accountancy world a few years ago, and I remember turning up to my first event in a suit, thinking, "What am I doing?" And
I'm the only one here wearing a suit.
Yeah, trainers on, t-shirts on. Comfort is king.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's a big show now, isn't it? How many halls do you take over?
Oh, we take over several halls at Excel in London. At the last show, we had over 10,000 visitors. We've got close to 300 exhibitors. It's just huge. It's someone said to me this week that it's the home of accountancy. It's where all the accountants come together and are at one with each other. So I loved that analogy. And of course, there's a massive representation from the bookkeeping community as well, who we love supporting, and we're doing lots for this year as well. So there's lots to be seen.
Yeah, and every single week, I'm going to be interviewing people that are going to be involved in the show. So I've got some exclusives. I am so excited. I know stuff that you guys don't know, and so I'm looking forward to that. I've got some good guests lined up, but we're also going to be having a chat next week. So we're going to be planning, sharing, who we've got coming up and what guests we've got coming up. So that's next week. So whole half an hour with me. I don't know if you're going to bring any of your gang in. I see Rachel is there. So yeah, it is 12 weeks and counting. You must be absolutely running around now like headless chickens.
Oh, this is the best bit. This is the bit we live for. We love this bit. This is where the adrenaline kicks in. We're so close to announcing the program. We've got some amazing keynote speakers lined up, some of whom are going to be interviewed by you on this podcast. And yeah, it's just all going on. It's wonderful. Loving it.
It is absolutely fantastic. So Rachel said drum roll. She's given us some thingies, and Pavel says it's exciting news. So congratulations. Okay, so every single week, I'm going to be interviewing people. I've been thinking maybe you should come on at the beginning of every show just to let us know how it's going, and let's see your stress levels and stuff like that.
We should have a stress levelometer, shouldn't we?
Yeah,
see where they are today.
Absolutely. But yeah, 12 weeks. It's like it's caught up with us, isn't it?
No, it's just around the corner now. So yeah, we just can't wait. And I know that both of us know so much about what we want to say, but we're not allowed to say it yet. So it's trying not to give it away.
No, it's been horrendous not being able to say anything. I don't know if you saw my post the other day, but I put it akin to knowing that my son-in-law had asked me for my daughter's hand in marriage. That was lovely. Trying to keep that quiet.
Yeah.
Trying to keep that quiet was horrendous. But this has been longer.
I know. And all will be revealed. I'm pleased that we're there now pretty much. We got from next week onwards, we're going to have some cracking things to share with everybody. So
we certainly will.
I hope everyone's going to enjoy the shows, and we're very much looking forward to them.
No, fantastic. So you've been busy planning all of this. You still haven't announced any speakers yet, so that form I had to fill out, that doesn't curry any favor, does it?
I couldn't possibly tell you, Ashley. I'm sorry. You don't jump to the front of the queue here, It's not like that.
Okay. But there's an awful lot of people that are waiting for you to say, you've got a speaking slot. So
everyone has been so patient, and I'm so grateful. We'd love to try and streamline it each year and try and make it quicker. But when you get, well over 400 abstract submissions, it's just you want to give each one the time and dedication that they deserve, because everyone's put so much effort into it. And I have to say, the program is very nearly there. It's incredible. It is the best program we've ever done. It's sensational. The worst bit of my job is saying, unfortunately, to those who've not been accepted, and we're going to be turning away some incredible sessions that have every right to be there on another day with another part of the jigsaw puzzle. It's just so different each year. So yeah, I can't wait to announce it, coming very soon, and I will let you know, Ashley. You're at the beginning of the alphabet, so maybe we'll let you know sooner.
I do like that. It is a bit of a bonus. Okay, so we've got the show. So we're going to go live every single Wednesday at 12:30. Am I allowed to say what's happening on the 3rd, or are we going to leave that? We'll leave that till next week. We'll leave that till next week.
All right.
We'll leave that till next week, because there's some exciting things, and we've got some really, really good guests coming up. And now that it's out, I can actually contact some of the other people on that list and say, "Will you come on the show?" So,
because otherwise they would have thought, "What on earth are you talking about? I don't know what you're saying."
I can't tell you, but you just need to come on my show and da-da-da. But yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. Right. I'm going to go and lie down now. That was great to be able to announce it live, and I look forward to sharing lots of other stuff live over the coming weeks. But Caroline, thank you so much for working with me and letting me do this. It's gonna be so much fun. It's gonna be live, but it's also gonna be a podcast every single week. So there's gonna be loads and loads of stuff there that we can share and loads of content we're doing. So yeah, I cannot wait.
I can't wait either. We're really thrilled, Ashley. We love working with you, and we're going to have a great fun of the next 12 weeks. It's going to be good.
Certainly will indeed. That's the promise. That's the promise. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching and sharing our good news. I'm back next week with Caroline, and we are going to spill some of the beans, aren't we, Caroline?
Oh, yeah. Drip feeding, drip feeding.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, make it fun, make it exciting. But yeah, so thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you next Wednesday. Cheerio, Caroline.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
You get out what you put